Improv brings me joy because I can let the inner silly in me out, and I get to do it with a bunch of people that I love and trust.
Through collaboration, through working with other people.
At the risk of stating the obvious, it's comedy.
Probably the best part of improv that brings me joy is the opportunity that I have to inspire others. I teach Improv Level 1, and I am the person that introduces people. The work that they do brings me joy. I bring them joy. It's just a marvelous thing.
The laughter that we have between the people doing the improv, that brings me joy.
Having fun and playing together and forgetting there's an audience.
Improv brings me so much joy by letting me be myself in a room full of strangers. Clears my mind.
It makes me feel whole. It is my therapy. It makes me feel courage. It gives me all the good feels.
Improv brings me joy because I love performing and I love collaborating with people, and it's the perfect mixture of collaboration and performance and listening and giving and generosity.
Can you imagine any other hobby where for 2.5 hours you're guaranteed to laugh?
I'm able to pause life and play, and then also when I'm back in life, I'm able to let things go easilier.
Improv brings me joy because it allows me to express myself and be as silly or weird as I want to be.
Everything about it is joyful. Thinking about it, being in it, reflecting on it.
Laughter is obviously a very social behavior, right? So I think it's useful to say first up top, like as a social psychologist, one thing we've established pretty well in our discipline, and really in other disciplines, people are converging on this notion that people are an inherently very social species. So like in social psychology, we talk about this need to belong, and the phrasing there is very deliberate. It is a need.
I'm actually a social psychologist. That's my day job, which means I conduct experiments to try to understand human social behavior. So yeah, that's how confused I am about how social relationships work. I turned it into a job. So,
and I feel like social psychology and like at least observational stand-up comedy are very similar. You're looking at people, you're observing things about your own life or how people act and interact, and you're sort of commenting on that. And social psychology would be by like designing a study or testing a hypothesis, publishing a paper. In stand-up, it's writing a joke about it, seeing if it resonates with people, seeing if they laugh.
In college, my meathead roommates would be like, "Hey, EJ, you want to go lift weights?" I'd be like, sure, whatever. And that happened every single day. This really happened. I put on 20 pounds of muscle because I was not assertive enough to pursue my own interests. I got very strong, okay? Almost strong enough to say no.
Making eye contact, when you bring your head up, you scream! And then everyone puts their heads back down immediately. And we keep going until no one screams.
Really so no one screams.
Yeah, so heads down. 1, 2, 3, look. Ah! Down. 1, 2, 3, look.
Ah!
1, 2, 3, look. Ah! 1, 2, 3, look. Ah!
It is not the goal of improv to create laughter. It's like improv is definitely highly associated with comedy because they work very well together, but it's not the only outcome. So there is dramatic improv that happens in Chicago and other places, but the laughter and the joy of it comes from human beings being together and working together in a playful way. In the class context, it's through exercises and games that the teacher has decided of like what we're working on that night, what's the specific skill set of improv we're working on, so that is gives us a central point to focus on. But it's always a gathering of people coming together to play.
Okay, floor and furniture.
Mind meld. 1, 2, 3.
Table.
Carpet. Table.
Wow, okay.
Mind meld, 1, 2, 3.
Tree.
Arm.
All the laughter, it breaks down the barriers and it allows people in. Those walls come down, and then you start bonding with people and understanding people on a level of humanity, not of your preconceived notions. So we all become very human together, and it is like a playful kind of group therapy.
Next suggestion, based on that one, is rug burn.
Oh, this was such a mistake.
When you let go of all the things that you've defined yourself previously by and just become who you are in that moment, kind of like a big kid, your most authentic self, people are attracted to that. So you are now being your authentic self with other people being their authentic self, and it is beautiful and it is freeing. Who wouldn't want that? And who wouldn't want to keep coming for that? And who wouldn't want to enjoy that and embody that? And that's why it feels so good when you walk into a room with a bunch of improvisers.
Show us how to get down.
No way.
Show us how to get down.
Okay.
D-O-W-N. That's the way to get down. D-O-W-N. That's the way to get down. Very good. Nice job.
To get these two started, they're going to start on the letter B. Let's also give them an activity that two people could be doing together. Rowing. Rowing. The two of you are rowing, starting and ending on the letter B.
Bryce, I hope you did! You brought the new boat.
Whatever anxiety or stress is or was there, you're bringing it down as you're experiencing those positive emotions. So I'm sure that's part of that sort of freeing process, sort of stepping outside of all the stress of everyday life. The audience is getting that too.
When I first moved to Charlotte, I had gone to this bar near me, and there just happened to be an improv performance there, and it was just complimentary. It was free, and it was just, I remember thinking to myself, that's something I want, and I just kind of filed it away because it was just, they had each other's backs. They just seemed to be such a unit, and I just remember thinking, wow, they're really close.
I am a tree.
I am the dew on the tree.
Love it. I am a tire swing hanging off the tree.
Perfect. And they're funny, and look how they are up there, and they're just having the best time. And then afterwards, we were all hanging out together, and they were just delightful. And I thought to myself, like, I want something like that. I want that connection, that group.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah?
Looks like you're hammering over there.
Oh, yeah? It looks like you're being an incompetent judge.
Oh, yeah? Looks like you're beating a dead horse with a stick over there.
Oh, yeah? It looks like you're trying to break into a car.
I've always been a shy and quiet person. Through high school, I was like, I don't want to talk to people. I was very introverted. And that changed a little bit in college. I went to my first improv experience when I was in my mid-20s, and it was by accident. I went to a show thinking I would be watching a show, but it was actually one of those shows where you sign up and they call your name to do the improv. And I had a drink before, so I was feeling loose, and I was feeling like, okay, that seems like something I can do. And totally out of character, it went very well. I think the thing that improv really helps with is just unleashing a ton of energy. Like, where else can you invent a whole universe and be really silly? And really connect with people in a way that's very unique. When you're performing with someone or when you're playing a game with someone, it's just you and them. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. That's not gonna happen at a job necessarily, or even with friends who might not be like into that kind of thing.
At any point, I can ring this bell. Chris, thank you. Man, that's all right. All right, I can ring this bell. Now, after gives a new seat. Your suggestion is Christmas and Thanksgiving. Players, are you ready?
Ready.
Start your scene.
Sweetie, could you get the box with the old family ornaments on them? Just take it a little gently, okay? Because
There's something about knowing that someone has your back and will support your decisions, and also elevate it and is like of the same mind as you in that moment. That's really beautiful.
Here we go.
On three. One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three. Appetizer Improv!
New team name.
Got your back. Got your back. Got your back. Got your back.
For montage, we'll go about 20 minutes.
I got your back. Even though you're not performing.
You're going to a small town.
What are you talking about, Bruce? What are you talking about?
Sarah, I've known you for a long time. And
Bruce!
Sarah!
Bruce!
Sarah!
Bruce!
Sarah, just calm your bowlers down.
Oh my God. Okay.
Sarah, there's a small town out there that needs you. They need you to be an orthodontist.
I've always had a sense of humor and seen joy in things that other people might not see. Not just humor, but joy, because I think that's the purpose of life, is joy. And whether it's creating it for yourself or sharing it with other people, I like to share it with other people.
Welcome to Bacon Hour. Welcome to Bacon Hour. Come on through. Oh my God. What's your name? My name's Billy Joe. Billy Joe, I'm Sarah. I'm coming here to be your new orthodontist. What? Yeah. No way. Why? Well, when is an orthodontist?
You're willing to do more things to make yourself look like a fool, which is what makes it so much more funny. Whenever you're up there doing improv, the reason that you learn very quickly, the reason people come here is they don't get to do that.
When your relationships are good, when you're feeling like people get you or they understand you or they like you, that's when your self-esteem is going to be at its highest. That's when you're going to feel your most confident. So I think that's a part of it too. Performing is going to build confidence, but also being able to make people laugh, having the recognition night in and night out that you're a funny person, we're laughing at what you're doing, we accept you, we like you.
Oh, I've got myself my little marshmallow. Little gumdrops too, because that goes in this bellow.
Improv is really mindfulness training. It's training you to be in the moment and taking in what your scene partner is giving you and what the environment is giving you. But that training is a practice, which, like meditation, over time, you get benefits because you start to become more mindful in your outside life.
Next game, we are going to play a game called Holiday Carol. I will need 4 players to the stage, please. For this game, we are going to be singing about an issue, a problem that we all face around the holiday times.
You're more approachable, I think, in a way. Our armor comes down when you're improvising because you have to be receptive to the stimuli of your partner and your own imagination.
I think I'm not a very assertive person, but improv has made me a little bit more assertive and a little bit more confident, and definitely confident that I can, command attention if I need to, if I have something to say.
Zorro is my name. To kick your ass is my objective.
I have a tendency to want to self-censor what I say on stage if I think it might not be acceptable or it might offend somebody. And I have to remember that whatever it is in my mind, I need to let it out there and give it a chance to breathe.
It just means so much to me that you would show your support for me moving around.
Well, there's a lot that goes into being the front hoe. Okay? First of all, the customer is always right.
Like around level 2, I noticed that things were different for me in other parts of my life. I found joy in parts that I never... I'm always very joyful, but I found joy in even smaller parts of an everyday life. I started laughing with my mom on the phone, and we never really laugh together, but there's just something now that we find, I find humor in more scenarios when I didn't see it before.
Mick. All right, the word is Mick. Ladies first.
Oh, God.
Go right ahead.
Hey there, everyone.
can't do this.
Yes, you can.
Just, okay, I'll be in the
I
back.
started to be able to, let's say I'm at work and I have a bad day or whatever. Someone's bitch to me, and I normally would like hold on to that for a while and let it kind of sit and bother me. But ever since improv, I am much more able to let it roll off and move forward.
I am the crystal ball.
This one everybody will get in on.
I'm Pee Wee Herman looking for the basement of the Alamo.
I am a beaded curtain.
Ooh, nice choice.
I'll be the velvet tablecloth.
I'm the dry ice making the party more fun.
I'm Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost.
I'm sorry.
One of the things that stood out to me, even from a level 1 class, is looking people in the eye, which is something I didn't realize I didn't do. And I think especially today, it's kind of like looking at your phone, looking at anything but people's face, because that can seem so intimate. But there's something about looking just into people's eyes and having that connection with them that is really cool. So that's something that stood out to me. Just being more mindful of that, like making eye contact with people, whether it's like the person who's checking me out at the grocery store or my waiter, as opposed to just kind of like dismissing that.
It's helped me to be less judgmental. Improv has really helped me to be less judgmental. Less judgmental of myself, and therefore less judgmental of other people. I think that people make the mistake of, I'm going to work on my judgment. I'm way too judgy. I'm going to stop being judgmental of other people, and that's backwards, I think. I think that you can't be non-judgmental of others unless you are non-judgmental or less judgmental of yourself.
I think also one of the biggest lessons in improv is being present. Not thinking about what happened yesterday or what's gonna happen later on. It's just being in the moment, and I think that is such a huge shift in my thinking now. So now I can be such a planner, but improv really taught me to like, where am I at, who am I with, and just being mindful of that moment.
I mean, it's colored everything in my life, and I interact with people a lot more easily because I am more able to listen and to focus on what that person is saying instead of my reaction to what they're saying and what am I going to say when they say this, which they might not ever say.
Improv is such a safe place to come and be social. It's not like a bar, as you don't have to put on pretenses. You don't even have to get dressed up. You know, I think what I really want people to understand is there is a place for people to be who they are, where they're going to be accepted and have a community that doesn't really require anything, but you show up.
I know you do.
Oh my God. I still have your back.
Be willing to learn and play and laugh and be a kid again. That's a pretty low bar. That's pretty awesome. But I think it really is that there is a place if you didn't feel like you fit in other places. Like, a lot of people are great athletes. A lot of people are really smart. There is a place for people who are sarcastic, a little broken, and want to have a more fun life.
Yes.
one word, what does improv mean to you? Community.
I know, kind of cliche, but it's love. I love doing it. It's been a long time, and again, I love it.
Playtime.
It means freedom. There's no wrong answer. There's nothing you can't do. And it's different every night.
Being a kid. I can play. I can do anything I want to do. I'm free.
Play. Funky, good feeling, fantastic, salacious.
Freedom. That's, yeah, absolute freedom. That's 2 words. I'm a rule breaker.
A challenge. So if someone like me who's never really done any type of theater work, it's a challenge.
Freedom. Improvisation.
Fun.
Ha 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 ha. Silliness.
One word, I mean, that's asking me a whole lot. You want me to encapsulate all of what improv means in one word.
Improv is not about making myself look good. It's about making my team look good. It's about making my scene partner look good. And that is such a huge part of what any good community should be about, helping one another.
The general criteria that we've figured out are that people need 3 to 5 ongoing close relationships that are positive. And when you don't have that, when you don't have good friendships, when you don't have social belongingness, you suffer both mentally. Your mental health starts to waver, and your physical health also starts to waver. So mind and body both need relationships, need social relationships to survive and to thrive.
As soon as you walk in that door, it's like you get a pass. You got a ticket, right? To get up on that stage and say whatever, do whatever, and let go of everything that is out there. And that's where I think the self-confidence comes from a little bit more, is when you get up there and you really start just doing things and not thinking about, am I looking stupid? Am I funny? And just actually just getting up there and doing it, it is a weight off your back.
Laughter is one of these tools that helps us to bond with other people.
There's also a part of improv that's really vulnerable, and having those moments with each other was really a cool thing. I feel like that helped our bonds get closer.
Everybody has a voice that can and should be heard, and your creative point of view should be shared. And you're perfect just the way that you are. The funny's already there. You just have to share it.
We play together as grown-ups because it's not a productivity-based activity. It's not about how efficient you can be. And I think our culture, our capitalist culture, maximizes for efficiency and productivity in our work lives, and that there is not enough sense of play.
The reason that improvisation creates a community that it does, which is a very open, supportive, diverse community, is the work itself. Improvisation requires you to kind of let go of your ego, to be in the moment. You have to let go of your expected outcomes. Even your unknown biases have to kind of like float away. You become entrenched with people and learning with people you would never have probably met on the street. You wouldn't have seen them in other aspects in your life. And this is the people that end up being in your class or on your cast, and people older than you, younger than you, people of different races and ethnicities and everything. And when you let go of any of your preconceived notions and you play is such a beautiful bonding thing. When you can play, you're not trying to achieve a goal. You don't have expectations. You are just having a good time.
Proud of you. Proud of you. Proud of you.